Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for finding time to come onto my channel and to watch this video. I'm grateful that you are here and welcome to yet another video about accounting. And today I'm going to share with you some of the challenges that accountants go through so that if you are out there and you are looking forward to become an accountant, maybe that is your dream career, I would like to enlighten you on some of the challenges that you should expect to face in this career. And also, if you are an accountant already, you will also get an answer to a common question that we are usually asked in an interview. When you attend an interview as an accountant, there is this question that we are usually asked, that which are the challenges or which is that one challenge you have faced as an accountant in the course of your work. So if you are also looking an answer to that interview question, this video is for you because you can just pick one of the challenges that I'm going to share with you and customize it to fit you depending on your experience in accounting and give that as an answer to that question. And even if you are not an accountant, it is also good that you watch this video. You get to learn the challenges that accountants go through. Could be you have friends who are accountants or you have a partner who is an accountant. You will also learn the challenges that they face and you will be in a position to know how to support them as they continue with their journey as accountants. But guys, I'm not trying to scare anybody by sharing these challenges. So if your dream is becoming an accountant, don't be scared because everywhere there are advantages and disadvantages, and in every work there are challenges, and therefore don't be scared away just because of these challenges. Listen to them to learn and to be prepared for them, but not to give up on the accounting career. So guys, keep it here and expect to learn from this video, and let's get right into it. The first challenge that the accountants face is operating at high risk. What do I mean by operating at high risk? We all understand that an accountant handles money either by handling money in liquid cash, or if you are not handling them in liquid cash, then you are handling money transactions. So let's talk about when you are handling money in liquid cash. Like for example, when you are working as a cashier or you are working as an accounts clerk, where you are the one handling all money matters, like you are handling cash and also other accounting roles. That means that you are handling cash on a day-to-day basis, and that comes with its own risk, which I'm going to share with you. And one of the major risks which comes with it is loss of cash. It can be through theft, and which can happen in different ways. For example, it can happen through attack by robbers. We have had many cases of where armed robbers attack an organization and they steal the cash. And in the process of the cash being stolen by the armed robbers, you can lose your life at that point because they can choose to harm you, especially maybe if you resist. And even if you cooperate, some of them, they will still harm you with their arms and you can end up losing your life. So that is one of the challenges and the risk that you do face when you are handling cash. You can easily lose your life, and if not, you can also end up finding yourself in jail because when cash is stolen and it is in your hands, whether you are innocent or not, you will be the first suspect and you might be framed that you are the one who organized the theft, or if money has been misappropriated by your fellow colleagues through transactions. Obviously, also as the accountant, as the person handling the cash, you will be the first suspect and you can easily find yourself in jail. So those are some of the risks that comes with handling money in liquid cash. And also, even if you are not handling money in liquid cash as an accountant, you also face these challenges, but now in different dimensions. For example, if you are working as an accountant somewhere and your bosses want to misappropriate cash, let's say like now a manager, or maybe you're working in a government organization and the senior people in the government want to misappropriate cash, you will have to be involved in those transactions as an accountant, because there is no transaction that can be done in an organization and an accountant misses to be involved, because as an accountant, as we have mentioned, you are handling transactions, and therefore you will find yourself in these situations even if you don't want to be involved, even if yourself you don't want to misappropriate cash, you don't want to steal money. You will find that people who have those intentions will drag you in those kind of situations, and the risk that comes with that is that, number one, you can be jailed, and number two, you can also lose life, especially if you try to whistleblow because yourself you don't want to involve yourself in cash misappropriation. You want to be a person of integrity and maintain integrity as an accountant, as it is one of our ethics. And so you find that in such a situation you are being threatened that you will be killed if you don't cooperate, if you try to whistleblow, or even you will get fired. So you find that in both cases, whether you're handling money in liquid cash or you're just handling transactions, as an accountant, you are facing this risk of being jailed or even losing your life. And if not those two, you are also under the threat of losing your job. And you know how these days in our country it is so difficult to find another job. So you find that some of the accountants you end up compromising because maybe you are a family man and you are worried if you get fired and you have family looking up to you, what you are going to do to cater for them, and you find yourself in those kind of situations. Apart from theft, you can also lose cash in different other ways. Like, for example, it can be through making a mistake when doing a transaction, and you find that you have made a mistake which is very costly. And for example, it can be you have put a wrong digit when doing a transaction and money end up being lost. And because you did it not intentionally, but because human is to error, you might find that you did a mistake unknowingly, and you find that that way you have lost money, and even if you are questioned, you are not in a position to explain how the money got lost. Another way that you can also lose money is when you fail to meet statutory deadlines, which comes with fines. For example, you fail to meet the deadlines of filing returns, and the company or the organization you are working at end up being penalized for not filing returns in time. And as the accountant, you are the person responsible with filing the returns. Then you find that you are the one who is going to carry the burden of the loss that you have brought to the company by causing the company or the organization to be penalized, because the penalty is a loss to the company, and therefore that is another way that money can be lost in an organization and you end up being responsible as the accountant. So those are just some of the risks that you face as an accountant, and that is why I said that challenge number one is operating at high risk. Now you understand some of the risks that accountants face in their day-to-day lives. Another challenge that accountants go through is being underpaid. Having explained the risks that the accountants operates under, on top of that, you find that the amount of money that the accountants are being paid is nowhere comparable to the risks that they are facing, because we are talking about risks involving hundreds of thousands or millions of money, and even in other places, billions of money. And not only that, we have mentioned that you can also lose your life or even end up in jail. On top of that, you find that accountants are not only being underpaid, but also overwhelmed with duties. You find that the duties you have been allocated as an accountant are so much overwhelming because there are many duties, and the pay that you're getting is nowhere near also. It doesn't compensate you for all the effort and all the pressure that you undergo to give best results, to meet deadlines, and to bring value to the company. Another challenge that accountants face is misconceptions that people have about the accountants. And what I mean by misconceptions is what people think about the accountants, which is not true. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to only share two misconceptions or two things that people think about the accountants, which is not true. And then I will do a different video whereby I will discuss more misconceptions that people have about the accountants. And therefore, make sure that you keep it here on this channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that when I upload that video, you will also be in a position to be notified and to watch it. And the first misconception that people have is that accountants are enemies of the people. When you are an accountant, people will see you as an enemy of the people, especially when it comes to implementation of policies. When you are an accountant, apart from just handling money and transactions, one of your major roles also is to ensure that companies' policies and procedures are being observed to the latter. And therefore, you find that at some point as an accountant, you will have to be like a policeman. You have to ensure that everyone, be it colleagues, clients, or even suppliers, are observing companies' policies and procedures. And that is where the problem comes in, because you find that you have to be strict and you have also to make reports at the end of the day and submit them of how your work is, of how things are running in the company. At some point, when making these reports, you have to mention people, especially those who are notorious in bending policies and procedures, those people who want to do things their way. They don't want to observe the policies and procedures which have been put in place to protect the company from any loss. And you find that when people are trying to bend these procedures and these policies, they might end up causing losses to the company. And that is where the problem comes in, because an accountant, you have to protect the company or the organization from losses. And if it is an individual who is causing losses, then you have to charge them these losses. And how do you charge them these losses that they have individually caused to the company? Is by having their salaries deducted. And so when you do that, people end up feeling that you are this enemy, that you want the worst for them, you want to hurt their income, you want to hurt their jobs, you want them fired. But it is not the case. Us as accountants, we are not interested in having your salary deducted. We are not interested in having you fired. We are only interested in protecting the company from losses and from hurting the business of the company. And therefore, if you make sure that you observe policies and procedures, there is nowhere that you will find an accountant questioning you. There is nowhere you will find an accountant reporting you or even submitting reports that your salary be deducted, because if you did as per what is required, why would they have any business having that done to you? Yet they are not even going to benefit personally. Like, for example, if a salary is deducted from you, I am not going to benefit in any way as an accountant, because that amount will not be added to my salary. And even if you get fired, I am not going to take up that job, and therefore I will not be benefiting by doing that. So guys, please understand that accountants are not the enemies of the people. They are only doing as per what is required of them. And if they doesn't do that, they are the ones who carry the burden at the end of the day. So please make sure that if there are policies and procedures to be observed, just observe them, and you will have no problems with the accountants. And understand that it is nothing personal, it is pure work. And that is why you cannot ask an accountant to forgive you, maybe in a situation where they have to have your salary deducted, and they cannot forgive you because it is not them personally you have hurt, it is the business you have hurt, and the business cannot forgive you. The business can only try to recover the losses, and the way to recover the losses is to hold you who have brought the losses to the company accountable. The same way you find that a HR officer or manager, there are situations where they are forced to take actions against you, like firing you or such kind of things, and you cannot ask them to forgive you, because It is nothing personal. They are only doing what is required of them, because what you have done is hurting the business, is hurting the company, and therefore they have to take these actions against you to protect the business and to protect the company. The second misconception that people have about accountants is that accountants just sit and do nothing and get paid a lot, which is not true. As I have already mentioned, many accountants are overwhelmed with work, with duties, and at the end of it all, you find that the accountants are being underpaid. And the problem is that the results of the work of an accountant are not tangible results that you can show that this is the work of my hands, this is what I have achieved, as it is in other careers. Like, for example, when you are a salesperson, at least you have tangible results because you can show the number of new customers that you have brought into the company, and those are tangible results that people can clearly see that you are doing something. But when it comes to an accountant, your work is handling figures, and even the reports that you have to give, which are the results, are also full of figures, and you cannot go giving these reports to everyone because, of course, some of the information there is very sensitive and you cannot go sharing it with everyone. You can only submit the reports to the people you are supposed to submit to and to your employers. And you find that even some of the people that you are supposed to submit the reports to, you have to again explain to them what these reports means, what those figures means, because they may not as well understand them by just looking at them. So that is where the challenge comes in, and that is why people feel like accountants just sit, look at the computer and do nothing and get paid a lot, because the results of our work as accountants is not tangible results. It is results in terms of figures, and you have to again explain what these reports or these figures really means. Another challenge that the accountants face is implementation of policies. As we all understand by now that one of the major roles of an accountant is to implement policies, it comes with its own challenges. And as I have mentioned earlier, one of the challenges is that you are seen as an enemy of the people as the accountant when you are implementing these policies and procedures. And another challenge is that you have to make sure that even people who are senior than you are observing these policies and procedures. The same way, when it comes to the law, no one is above the law and everyone is expected to observe the law. And if you doesn't observe, an action must be taken against you, regardless of who you are. And the same way, it applies to the policies and procedures of an organization. No one is above them, regardless of who you are. Everyone is expected to observe them. And as an accountant, you are expected to make sure that even the senior people in an organization are observing these rules and procedures. And that is where the problem comes in, because some of these people will want to bend these policies and procedures to fit their desires and what they want to achieve. And when you try to question them why they are bending these policies and procedures and as an accountant, or you try to say no to bending these procedures and policies, you find that they are feeling like you are crossing boundaries, or you are disrespecting them or looking down upon them. And some of them, they will even wonder who you think you are, that you are questioning them, or you are telling them no, things are not supposed to be done this way, they are supposed to be done this way. And so you find that there is that challenge of making sure that even the people who are senior than you, they are observing these policies and procedures. And some of them, they may not understand that you are only doing your work. You are not trying to make them look inferior than you. You are only trying to do what is required of you, which is protecting the company from being hurt and also from getting losses. Another challenge that accountants face is stiff competition in the job market. You find that these days, so many people have done CPA, even people who are not really interested in specializing in accounting. you find that someone has done a degree in another different field like IT or economics or any other field that is not accounting. But on top of that, someone has also done CPA as a backup, so that if they don't get a job in what they are specializing in, they can in the meantime get a job somewhere as an accountant. They be working as they continue looking for a job in what they have specialized in. And therefore, if you are specializing in accounting only, maybe you have only done CPA and that is the area where you want to specialize in, you find that you are facing a lot of competition or stiff competition when it comes to the job market, because of the many people who have done CPA, including those who are not necessarily wanting to specialize in accounting. And therefore, you find that it has become so difficult to get a job when you are specializing in accounting only. And therefore, that is another challenge that the accountants are facing. Another challenge that accountants face is that you are expected to be tough and soft at the same time. And what I mean by that is, as an accountant, you are expected to ensure that policies and procedures are being observed by even clients. You are supposed to ensure that they are observing them, but at the same time, you make sure that the company does not lose these clients. So it means that you are supposed to be strict, you are supposed to be tough, and make sure that they do as per what is required. But on the other side, you are supposed to make sure that you are soft in a way and you are sweet, so that you retain them and so that the company does not lose them. For example, when you are in debt collection and credit control, you are supposed to ensure that credit customers pay their dues in time, and it is up to you as the accountant to know how to go about it, to know how to push these customers, and you should do it in a way that they will not quit being your clients because maybe you are pushing them so hard. So it is up to you to balance as an accountant, being hard and being soft at the same time, being tough and being sweet at the same time. And that also becomes a challenge when you are working as an accountant. And guys, those are some of the challenges that the accountants face. And it is not all the challenges. I have not exhausted all of them. And therefore, if you are an accountant and you are watching this video, I'm requesting you to share some of the challenges that you have been facing as an accountant in the comment section down below. Let us enlighten someone out there who is looking forward to becoming an accountant, and even those who are not looking forward to joining the career. But it is good that people get to understand the challenges that we are facing as the accountants, so that they can know how to support us. And therefore, let's have that conversation down below in the comment section. And also let me know if you have learned something by watching this video, and I will be glad to see your comments and to hear from you. And also remember to subscribe to my channel and to share this video. Also look out my other videos which are on this channel. I have done different type of videos, so you can get to watch the one that fits you best, and look forward to more and more amazing videos that I will continue bringing to you. So please continue keeping it here and make sure that you join this family by subscribing. Thank you so much for watching my video and for always coming back to my channel. I really appreciate you, and see you in my next video. Shalom, shalom, shalom.